to say.
Welcome to Hungar's
I'm done
Live
work for the
Stream
day.
Wednesday. What up, what up, what up? I have no voice. So I got two guests on today. I got Shadow and Son, and I got Justin Thor, my homie from Conan, my brothers from another mother's. Y'all gonna do some talking.
Man, your old man must have got around.
Before that, check out the merch. Get some cool Hungar stuff. Justin's actually one of the people who did shirt for me. All proceeds are going to the Wounded Warrior Project. I am keeping zero money from this because I don't want no money from it. It is all going to the Wounded Warrior Project. So one, you get a badass shirt with Hungar the Starvarian. Two, you get to help a very good charity. So check it out, man. It's good for a good cause.
I'll be picking up a pair of those shirts right after the holidays. You know how it is. Just got to get through this craziness, and then we just got some shirts from Emperor's Choice last night for Arduin. If you guys are fans of it, unfortunately, they sent me a 2XL, and as you can see, I'm not really a 2XL guy. So I'll be giving one of those away right after Christmas, I think, when we hit the 500 sub mark, along with close to $700 worth of goodies, miniatures, and Arduin books. So come check that out. Help us get to those 500 subs, and then break in the new year with some new merch.
Legion of Meth said that when he gets up to, like, I think he said 400 or 4,000 or 5,000, that he's going to be giving out Hungar shirts for the mom mark.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
And he's going to get one of the horrible shirts for his wife. You know the one I'm talking about.
Because I did not design the one he's wearing right now. I designed the other one with the gentleman behind the couch.
Would you be interested in doing some shirts for me and the boy?
I'm not super good at it. If it's something simple, yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm really new to this.
Like if I sent you a photo of me and the boy, you do something with that and cartoonize it?
I can throw some filters over it. That's about my skill level, to be honest with you.
Better than I can do, man. I'm not an artist. The little guy's not bad, but he's kind of busy with JROTC, fencing class, chess club, trying to be in some 5th edition games with his schoolmates. He's just super busy. It's hard to even get him on the show these days.
Speaking to the mic, Justin.
Oh, sorry. I got this new arm thing here. I'm still figuring it out. Yeah, no guarantees you'll like the work, but if you want me to try something, I'll try it. And
hey,
use it. If you don't.
Yeah. Anything to help out a fellow YouTuber, and get your word out there. And, it would be kind of cool and fitting to have the same guy who did the incredible Hungar shirts to keep that sort of theme going. You know what I mean?
I think a different guy did the one with the barbarian.
Yeah, that was
he does good work.
That was Big Bad RPG.
Never heard of him, but I'll look him up.
Yeah.
Have you subbed to us there, Justin?
Yeah, I do believe so. On my casual use channel for YouTube.
Justin was my very first sub.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah. Mind you, it was coincidental.
Well, don't undersell it, man. Hey, family here.
Fat Gamer.
Hey, Fat Gamer.
You can't be that fat.
Really? What branch there, Fat Gamer? Or is that, need to know info? So what are you into, Justin?
These days, not so much anything. I used to do a lot of stuff, but since about 2019, I really haven't done any gaming in person.
Well, yeah, but like what, what brand names or however you want to put it,
Oh, I was big into BattleTech back in the day.
Cool.
Yeah. I found James's channel, right, which is how I got into this circle here. Through that video he did about all the companies that hate you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then, I just like the vibe of the people, so I started shit talking with everybody.
No RPG in though?
I've played a bit of D&D back in the day, 3rd edition.
Okay.
And some seconds because I found it easier to play.
Yeah. I'm traditionally a D&D 1st edition player, but I incorporate a lot of 2nd edition stuff into my game. I'm getting ready to run a game with Hungar over there real soon here.
What up, Max?
Online or in person? Yeah.
Online. I wish it was in person. That would be freaking epic.
Yeah.
I like D&D, but I'm not gonna go to California to play.
Oh yeah. I totally spaced on where you guys were.
Yeah. I'm here in California, and he's way over there in Florida, the land of milk and honey.
Florida's nice. Florida's nice.
Yeah, the one time I was there, it was nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the family to move out to Texas, but right now the boy is in JROTC and doing so well there. He already made sergeant in his first 3 months, and if he keeps it up, he'll make lieutenant next year. And I don't want to jeopardize that, because if he moved to a larger area, he would have a lot more competition, and I'd like to at least see him, get that lieutenant, under his belt when he moves out there. That way, he's one of the, higher ranking, kids out there, doing the things.
I have no voice, everybody, so I'm going to put the link out. And if you want to join us, feel free.
Yeah. But the reason why we played 2nd edition back when I was playing was because I already had the books.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 90% of the reason why you should be playing an edition.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not all about this, how do I put it nicely? The retro clones of the games I played when I have the games I played, and I have extra copies. It just, I get it that they may be cleaned up and more user friendly, but we didn't have those issues back in the day. We made do with what we had, and we didn't complain about it. We were happy to get the next book, ecstatic really to get the next book, whatever that book might have been. And I just can't see, buying a new game like, Adventure Conquer King or Castles and Crusades or Old School Essentials when I've got the originals. Now, mind you, if someone wants to send me a PDF, I'll take a look at it and incorporate the info wherever I can. I'm playing a Pathfinder game with Bruce Lombardo, and okay. If you're gonna show off stickers, I got to show off our Funky Fraint Pale Ale stickers from Emperor's Choice. For those of you who don't know, Fraints are an insectoid race, the predecessor to the Tricrine, or however you pronounce those guys.
My stickers are cooler because my stickers are mean.
I get you. I'm not gonna lie, but the Emperor's Choice just sent us a big stack of these stickers to hand out to you, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Funky Fraint Pale Ale, 6.4 ABV, brewed with cold, cool logic. Because the Fraints are purely logical creatures, and my son's favorite non-human race to run. but yeah, I'm not a huge Pathfinder fan. I don't even own the books, but like I always say, it's all about the players, not the game. I'll play just about any game. If it's with a good bunch of guys, I'd rather play a crappy game with my best friends than a great game with a bunch of strangers. Mind you, they could all become great friends someday because that's how it all starts. But when time is an issue and you've only got so many hours in the day and not enough days in the week to play with your friends, I'll give it a try. I'm playing 5th edition with Connell tomorrow night. Not a fan of 5th edition, but it's not about the rules. It's about the goofballs at the table, and I'm having a lot of fun. I played Index Card RPG. I played Conan. All game. Well, I might actually buy Index Card RPG because I really like the simplicity of it. And as I get older, the simpler the game, the better, the more fun. I'd rather, as a DM, work with rulings than rules. Yeah, exactly, Mr. Max. If the core rules gel with me, or better yet, if the setting is something I love, then I'll play it. Conan, for example, played with Crafty Matt Craft. Loved the experience. The rules, not so much, but it didn't matter. I was with a bunch of great guys, a great GM. If you ever get a chance to be in a Crafty game, jump on it and consider it an honor to be invited. Hunger.
When I run my Drow game, I want you, Shadow, and I want you, Justin, to be in it.
I had to relearn the game, man, because like I said, the last role-playing game I played was like I played tabletop games, but the last role-playing game I think was 2012, 2007, somewhere around there. That's right.
You come in as a new player. Just remember, you're going to be playing an evil bastard. It's right up your alley.
So I'll be playing myself.
Yes.
If that's the case, that's the case. We won't judge. We'll just assume you're playing in character and you're doing it great. Like I just said, Justin, you're going to be amongst friends, and that's all that matters. That we have a good time, we enjoy each other's company, and we enjoy a great story brought to you and me by Lord Hungar himself, which will be indeed an honor to be in that kind of a game.
I assume any game brought to us by Hungar involves pink unicorns.
It comes with ass cancer.
I'm not touching that with a 10-foot battle lance.
That's Justin.
Yeah.
He's
not judging. We're not going to kink shame here. It's too early in the morning for that. You like your pink unicorns. I like me some Asian women, and we are what we are.
You like Asian women, but you married a Mexican.
Yep.
That's close.
It's more budget friendly. I'm just going to say that, okay? Because those Asian ladies are,
I like women. I don't care.
I do, but I just, it stemmed from two things. My old man was a bit of a white supremacist. I'm going to just say, I could be wrong because he had a lot of friends all over the world and stuff. But one day I brought home my Asian girlfriend, and he was not happy about that. And from that point on, I'm like, well, guess what, Dad? Ain't dating no white women. And that was pretty much the case for the rest of my life. Mind you, I was only 16 at the time. So it's been a long, long road of
I've dated some white girls and black girls and brown girls and tan girls and Eskimo girls. And
yeah, I'm not going to lie. I have dated some girls that were, all over the spectrum. But I always had that, total opposite attraction. I'm a, very stereotypical blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy, and I couldn't get down with that Aryan sort of thing that my younger brother and my old man sort of embraced. I just couldn't do it. I'm just not wired that way, and
I've dated a Blasian, a black mixed with Asian. Oh, those girls are so hot.
Yep. And it's it really comes down to the hotness, and there's all kinds of hotnesses in various flavors and levels of spicy. And the little guy's mom, she's been wonderful to me. And I just tease about the Asian thing because one day she might actually watch one of our videos, which is about as likely as well.
This is the ass covering part.
No. We've been together almost 20 years. I've never cheated. I don't cheat. And, it's just funny because, my son,
pan the camera down. I want to see who's under the table.
Well, my dog was there a moment ago, but you guys must have scared him off. No. I'm not into that puppy love. I love my puppy, but just not that way, because that's vile and disgusting. But we're not going to kink thing here this morning.
That's the sole
I don't cheat.
People at Wizards of the Coast don't like you.
Justin,
I'm okay with that. I'll keep buying their miniatures, but their books can get dusty on the bookshelf without my fingerprints on them.
Justin, speaking to your mic, and two, I don't cheat. All the girls that I'm messing around with know that they're not the only one.
Hey, if you got that sort of arrangement going, mind you, when I was a musician in my younger days, that was the rule. I'm too young to be settling down, and if you pass inspection, maybe you'll get another callback interview. And I get it, Mr. Max. I'm pretty open-minded when it comes to some things, others not so much, but when it comes to gaming, that's my first love. I always talk about that. AD&D was my first love, but she doesn't mind if I cheat on her with Traveler or Palladium or things like that. She understands. I always come back to her. A good friend of mine used to say, "It don't matter where you get your appetite as long as you come home to eat."
When I run my game, it's going to be 3.0, 3.5.
Oh shit, man, you're killing me.
I have all the books.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking with that. I will try any game at least once. If I like it, cool. If I don't, I'll let you know where you're fucking up. I'm assuming that I won't get struck by lightning when I do so.
And the races are all going, or the races drow. You're playing a drow. The classes are going to be fighter, mage, and priestess, because there's no male clerics of Loth.
Right. Well, what about magic abusers?
Magic users, yes. Mage, fighter, cleric, thief, assassin.
Okay. Quick question.
No rangers.
Nah, fuck that drip shit. That sounds too much like another word, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a huge fan. Right now I'm actually reading the elf book, and then I'll be reading the dwarf book for you, because I know that's what you want to run, and you like the splat books. I am a huge fan. In the old days, my favorite kind of characters to run were Elven, like fighter magic user assassin, fighter magic user thief, or some weird mix of whatever they'd let me run, depending on the DM.
I normally do not run multi-class.
Okay, because I was under the impression that the game lets you like jump from class to class and all that weird stuff.
But I don't know that in my game. But all drow have innate magical abilities.
Sure. I was actually just reading about that.
You're going to get the innate magic abilities of drow, but if you want to cast a spell, you're going to have to be a mage.
Right, and unfortunately, the game is very female centric, where the men are, just bitch boys who have to bow and scrape. I'm not real fond of that unless I'm actually running a female character, and I know a lot of people hate that. Dudes can't play chicks. Well, shit. Then how do I dungeon master them? Because it's all the same to me.
If you want to play a female, you can be a cleric. We're gonna and your alignment has to be lawful evil, chaotic evil, or neutral evil.
I can do that.
No neutral. You're playing drow. So read up on Drow because you're evil bastards. I expect some backstabbing and shit in this game.
Gotcha.
You know,
Sweet.
you're playing evil characters. Don't just randomly kill each other.
Okay, Dustin, I see how you are.
You're gonna need each other. Because
I ran, and I'm still running an evil campaign that has lasted close to 30 years with the same guys, and they have never backstabbed each other because they knew they were the only people in the entire cosmos they could rely on. And they've been running this campaign for, well over 25, 27 years. I forget now. It's been so long. And we still play to this day.
You're going to be in the Underdark.
I'm okay with all that. I'm okay with all that.
To kill you.
That's no different than being on the above the Underdark,
including the other Drow. They want to kill you too. Everything wants to kill you.
Sometimes those kind of games are the most fun. I ran a superhero game that's part of the evil campaign because my game world is a universe and everything's connected some way. If you can get there, you can get there. And the superheroes were constantly being hunted down, kind of like, the mutants back in the old days, where everybody hated them and everybody was trying to, hunt them down and that sort of thing. And these superheroes ran for, I want to say, like 10 years of constantly being hunted down and constantly, having shit blow up in their face. And they loved it. It's something about that. Excuse me. It's kind of like in the Matrix, how when the Matrix was formed, it tried to make a utopia for all the battery people, and it didn't work because people just couldn't deal with utopia, perfection, all that. So the Matrix, rebooted with. Yeah, exactly. So that's actually a great way to start a game, is having the players on the run, and that sets a tone of the DM, the players knowing that the DM is out to kill them, and the players out there using their A game to survive everything the world throws at them. And for some reason, those have been some of my most successful games I've ever run, where as opposed to, they're just, murder hobos, doing the usual things. But when suddenly there's a price on their head and they can't trust anybody, it just makes for a much more exciting, much more fast-paced game that for whatever reason, human nature, people just love to get hunted down and chased. It's a wonder there's not more of that in the real world.
Well, we got about 6 minutes. I'm going to cut this one short to a 30-minute.
No worries, dude. You got to save that voice, for singing on Saturday night. We expect you to belt out a power ballad, at the beginning of the show. So we need that voice, all sparkly clean.
I'll do some Meatloaf. I will do anything for love.
Meatloaf was a badass.
He's got 13 albums. You could choose a more offbeat song.
Really? He's got 13 albums. I thought it was just the 2. No. Really? I will have to look into that because I got to tell you, man, that Carla DeVito, oh my God, she was perfect in every way. And she had no problems hooking up with a fat bastard like Meatloaf. My God, what a woman.
She was only with him for certain albums. I think that one and the one after. Mm-hmm. And then the female opposite would change if there was one, because I know he did some songs with Cher too.
Cher wasn't having any of that. Come on.
No, Cher did Razor of Love with him or something like that.
Yeah, but did she make out with him on stage? Is what I'm saying.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Carla DeVito was also on one of my favorite Blue Oyster Cult albums, and she was just a gorgeous woman with an even prettier voice. And if she's there, I will be happy to watch, her from back in the day. Because
the albums go downhill in the degenerate sort of way. They become a lot more about bumping and grinding and less about romantic feelings. No, bumping and grinding.
You can't play that. Can't blame a guy like that.
I don't know. They're fun to listen to, but sometimes if you pay attention to the lyrics, you're like, ugh.
Yeah, well, I can see how, after Bat Out of Hell, he kind of, could only go two directions, and I didn't picture him going in the more traditional romantic boy meets girl kind of way. So I get it, but I'll have to give him a listen and see what I find out there. Because honestly, I thought he put out two albums and that was it. Because I never heard of anything else. And Bat Out of Hell 2 or whatever it was called, was like was barely on my radar.
Yeah.
Rocky Horror Picture Show album. He was in that.
Oh yeah. I did the Rocky Horror Picture Show every Friday and Saturday night for like 3 years. I literally got my free tickets to Midnight at the Movies from Elvira, the Mistress of the Dark herself. She would hand them to me, my hot little hand, when I was just a sweaty little 14 to 16-year-old kid doing stuff I shouldn't have been doing at that age, going to Midnight at the Movies with a bunch of other older teens. And we were part of the Rocky Horror cast. Don't ask who I played because
I played Eddie.
Eddie was the man, but that's not the man I played. Actually, I did play him a couple of times when somebody couldn't show up. And no, I didn't play Riff Raff. Everybody thinks that because of the long hair, but I didn't have the hair at that exact time. So that only leaves one. Oh, fuck no. Actually, we had a really cute girl.
He's still playing
Frankenfurter. No, we had a really cute girl named Gail who played Frankenfurter. So my scenes with her were not weird, at least for me. You
and Rocky.
Yeah, I was. And I got to tell you, man, I hooked up with some fine young ladies playing that part. No surprise, right? Because that's what you do at the Rocky Horror Picture Show. You throw toast. And you hook up with strange at every opportunity, and what an upbringing that was. Now I can't sit through it just because all the memories, and my son might walk by and go, "What the holy hell are you watching?" and start throwing holy water at me.
Jeremiah Johnson is on Grit this Saturday at 8:00, and I'm watching it again.
What time?
8, my time, 8:00.
You gonna miss my show, or are you gonna be there? Okay.
I'm 3 hours. I'm 3 hours past you, dude.
Okay.
So 8:00 in your time is 11 at mine.
Okay. And if you need to leave, because the things that are going on, don't even sweat it.
Hey, I'm not in the hospital. I'm doing good.
You know what?
It, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, those prayers worked. We had our own little prayer circle for you and for another good friend of ours. And you know what? I want to tell you a quick story before we leave. One of our other friends had an issue, a really, what appeared to be a very serious issue. And my boy and I prayed our little hearts out. And the very next day, little guy's coming home from school, and he found a brand new silver rosary on his way home from school, and it was just like a literal sign from up above that heard your prayers. And guess what? When he got home, we found out our other friend was back home safe and sound, and it wasn't it was an issue, and an issue that needed to be addressed, but it wasn't a big issue that warranted something more serious. So just for those of you out there, prayers do work, and sometimes it's a wonder to behold.
Even if you're not religious, you're sending out good vibes to people, right?
Yep.
You're keeping a positive energy. So even if you're not a religious person, it's still good to keep people in your heart.
Yep.
There's Shadow and Son's YouTube name. If you are not subscribed, subscribe to the man. Him and his son put out some most excellent videos. And on that note, Shadow, pimp your channel, man.
All righty, man. It's a father and son channel. We try to be wholesome, except on our live streams where we cut loose, let down the hair, and shoot the breeze with with all of our good friends out there, and we hope you guys will come and join us. We're 10 away from our 500 subs, in which case we will be giving away about $700-800 in miniatures, brand new miniatures, Arduin books, and all kinds of other goodness to our regular subscribers. We'll be doing that special like the day after Christmas, I think. But you got to follow the rules by watching the 500 sub giveaway videos. There's some specific things you got to do. Nothing real hard, real simple actually, but it helps us out and helps us make the show better. So if you're not subscribed, please go subscribe. Help us get to that 500 so that we can then give back to the community and help all you gamers out with whatever it is we do, the crazy crafting and then reviews and gamer stuff that we do regularly. And we can help you and you can help us, and we can make this family, because I don't like that damn word community, because we're a big old family of a bunch of big old nerds trying to be our geeky self and enjoy this wonderful hobby together, because without people like you guys out there, we'd all be playing video games.
What I do. Don't play video games.
I'm getting an old Xbox this week or next, but yeah.
You should get Conan.
Justin, you want to pin? Yeah, get Conan Exiles. I'll send you our password for our private server.
I'll look into it. Unfortunately, the computer I have, is my boy's, and I don't freaking mess with it. But I am getting a laptop next year, right around the first week of January, so that might just be the thing that I do.
Awesome.
So just give me a couple weeks.
Justin, you want to say anything about your non-video channel? Oh shit, here's Max. Hey, you know what? Let's go to an hour. We got too many people coming on.
You are a gentleman and a scholar.
I'm just gonna say
something or something.
What's up, Max?
Hey, Max, how's it going, man? Sorry, but I won't be able to make the chill stream this week. I've got another game with Mark's genre. Oh God, I don't want to screw up his channel. But our friend Mark Getzinger from Connell's show. He's running us through a Christmas game on Friday. It's the part 2 of a 2-part Christmas game. But rest assured, Max, I will be hanging out with you right after that's over, if there's time, or next week, because I missed your show. It's Max has been such a huge inspiration and help for my son and I. We've as soon as we saw the show.
Anybody who wants on, there's the link. So hop on in, anybody who wants. Max, I'm gonna send you on a Friday night chill stream. I'm gonna send you a super chat so you can get Noro that horrible shirt of mine.
I'd just like to apologize to the world for producing that nightmare of an image.
Well, now that you said that, I'm going to have to get one for the boy. I'll find you later and figure out which one that is, or maybe it'll be quite obvious which one that is.
Do you see the screen image?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, he put that on his shirt.
Okay, I really can't tell what's going on.
There are 4 swarthy gentlemen standing behind a young woman who is sitting on a couch. And I've replaced her head with Hungar's head. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Maybe that might not go over well with the mom. So maybe I'll just...
That's who you got to get the shirt for.
Oh no. She is where my boy gets his puritanical side from. She was born on a puritanical planet and crash landed in Mexico somewhere, because even in Mexico she is odd to say the least. She's very, very incredibly old fashioned. Apparently the planet she comes from is a couple hundred years in the past, but yet they have rocket technology to land her in the cornfield. In that little town in Mexico where she grew up, because everybody in her family is wild and crazy and she
Sounds like
is
a better
not.
place.
Yeah. Well, she's a good woman, and she puts up with my nonsense. Literally nonsenses is how she says it, on a regular day-to-day basis, putting up with all my holding, instead of hoarding of things she just does not understand. But she's been a wonderful partner for a very long time.
Guys, when I was talking about the draw game, I am going to be running a draw game. I'm wanting 5 players. Everybody's going to be drowned. Everybody's going to be bad. And you're all going to die.
Just tell me any source books I should skim through.
Player's Handbook.
Okay, I will go on the dark webs and dark web that.
It's going to be 3.0, 3.5. And if you want in, send me a message or just say so in chat.
Yeah, I'll probably just have you help me, come up with a character sheet, and I'll wing it from there. I've got the PDF for Pathfinder First Edition. Hey, mages, and I've been playing the game for 6-8 months now, and I almost never use the book. Yes, she will, Max, but worth it. Totally. Yeah. Well, it depends on what you mean by kill, because I've used the word. I've heard the word kill in various definitions throughout the years, and I'm still kicking. She's so excited so she can kill me. I'd pay money to see that, but I know she never goes on camera. But just to see you getting your ass whooped would be, worth the price of admission. I'm just going to say that.
Hide a camera in the living room. Don't tell her it's there.
Yeah, that sounds like the big D word with a capital divorce. And we all know Max don't want to go down that road, because I would hate to see him have to freaking sell his collection to pay for, the inevitabilities of that ugly word.
Oh, yeah, won't affect me. I'm okay with it.
Spoken like a true drow. Not my monkeys, not my circus.
Hey, I'm just trying to get into the spirit of things.
Well, the spirit of what things? I mean, the drow game, because I'm still trying to work through the holidays. By the way, everybody, I hope all of you guys are having a great holiday season, despite all the shit that's going on out there. Inflation is just killing most people, myself included. Paying $15 for 18 eggs is a load of horse shit. And we got to do something about that, because that ain't right. A year ago, the same 18 eggs cost me $4. Now I'm paying 15. So that ain't right.
That's a radically high.
I love Twitter. Twitter is awesome. I get stuff like this on it all the time.
Oh, I'm sure you do, and I'm sure I would. I actually do have a Twitter account. I opened one up last week when shit started getting interesting. Let's put it that way. And I haven't gone back. I just opened it up through my channel out there, hoping to see if we can meet some new friends out there, because every day.
Degenerate.
Okay, dude. Degenerate. Dreamer is the word I use. Because no. I get cat.
I see it against bad thoughts.
I get catfishes, coming my way all the damn time, and I just I used to be a private investigator, or work in the private investigation field, I can spot that shit a mile away. But you know what? Sometimes it's fun to throw that hook out there, reel them in, let them go, reel them in, let them go, and just waste their time, because that's what their most precious resource is. If they think they've got you.
I had this one that was using like photos, and I just kept reverse image searching and using the name of the person that they were putting up, and I go, oh, that's not my photo, and then would change it, and then I would reverse image search the new one and go, hey, how are you doing, X? It's like, how do you keep finding the images are fake? It's like,
you too, Max, and God bless, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, it is, Max. It is insane. And the worst part about it, guys, is that when they talk about the inflation being like 8% or whatever, that does not include food. Okay. What the hell does it include? Because it doesn't include gas and it doesn't include food. So what are they talking about? The air and the grass and the clouds? Because the inflation rate is way over 8%. It's like 2,000% if you actually, put the cost of the things you actually pay for into that formula. And we have been gaslit for decades when it comes to the inflation rate. It's not 8%. It's literally like almost 200, 300%. But they won't put that in there. Otherwise, we would be up in arms, rioting in the streets, and not the way we saw a couple years back, for reals.
Well, it's a proven fact. The only thing that decreases deflation or inflation, the only deflationary thing is the ability to pay down loans.
Mhm.
And when they adjust your interest rate so you can't pay down your loan, all they're doing is trying to maintain the inflation rate.
Yep. And so I found some sneaky ways around certain bills, and nothing I can tell people, online, because I don't want to go to jail. Nothing. I'm joking. Nothing really illegal, but there are ways to offset the one and only bill you have every single month that you're completely in charge of. And if that means going a month of ramen, I highly suggest you try it, because if you don't, you'll have no choice eventually. That's the ultimate goal. That's their ultimate goal, is to prevent us from being able to, pay our bills, and then suddenly we're all on, the country dole, so to speak, that big freaking, nipple in the sky that they all want us sucking off of, and I'm not doing it. I've had a good life, and if I go tomorrow, I'll have no regrets. But I'll be damned if I'm going to go on welfare or something like that, so they can control us.
It's two things. One, to not be dependent on the system is a very important thing, but you should never not take money they're giving you, because it's money they can't spend on other programs. So
Right.
if you can find a way to get like a tax break somewhere or a free credit or something, and it doesn't require you to not be independently wealthy, take it. And don't have any scruples about taking it, because it's there. It's a system that was probably initially put in place to F your community, especially for the community of people we have here. Like there's a lot, especially in the U.S. You can look at the history of a lot of social programs, and they're like targeted at X racial group, but they can't actually restrict whitey from getting it, because that would be illegal.
Yeah. Oh God, they'd love to try though, wouldn't they?
Oh well, they do. They were doing it with COVID treatments.
Yep. That was such an eye opener, and so incredibly evil. Because like I always say, united we stand, divided we fall, and the more of us that can unite with one another and have each other's back, etc. All it takes for their game to fall over is for us to stand up, and that terrifies them.
It's like 99% of the population is kowtowing to 1% of the population, the social justice woke crowd. And
those aren't even the 1%. Those are just the club that are.
Yeah, why are we touting down and letting them get their way when it's affecting everybody else?
You've been trained to fight wrong. Literally, you've been trained to fight wrong.
Well, I'm going to be the exception to that, because, I've been able to see certain things from my previous career, and there's a reason I got to retire at the age of 35 and been retired for going on 20 years now. I'm not falling for it. I'm not putting up with it, and I'm not letting it affect me or my boy. And they can pretty much kiss my narrow white ass if they think they're they're getting away with what they think they're getting away with. At least in my household and my neighborhood, not letting it happen.
Tonight, I'm going to party like it's 1776.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
1776.
And I think a lot of you have seen, various pieces of my collection, and just not having it. And I'm actually lucky here in California. I live in a very, very nice, peaceful area where people mind their own business, fly whatever flag they want to fly, and nobody, says anything. But I'm only about an hour away from Los Angeles, which, not a good thing, but unfortunately, they got to travel through some serious mountains and desert to get here. And when the shit hits the fan and they try to do that crap, they're all going to be doing it on foot, if you know what I mean.
Welcome to LA.
I've never heard that before, but I actually really love that. That is so absolutely fitting.
I would prefer to call it a glass field.
I would too, but I would prefer to call it from my new location in Texas. But like I said, I got to wait a little while before I can, move the family out there. And, the little boy, my son, he's planning on going full Air Force as soon as he's 17 and a half. Screw that college, screw that indoctrination camp. He wants to do what he thinks is the right thing for his country. And once that happens,
so he's going to go into the wokest of the branches.
Yeah, he thinks that his moral superiority will see him through, and he's real good at playing the game. Keeping his head down and just doing what's necessary. But that's almost 4 years away, and things could change. I'm assuming they're going to change for the worse. But if he can manage to go in there with a certain rank and certain training already behind him and what have you, I think he'll do okay. I pray that he doesn't change his mind and decide to do something else, like his old man, and get himself into real danger. But we need people like that who are willing to stand up for what's right. And if we just teach our children to just duck and cover and follow the party line, so to speak, we will never get out of the troubles we're in.
There was only one political party in recent history that didn't require you to follow the party line, but we won't tell you what country that was in.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I
like the Raven Looney Party.
They had a nice red flag.
The Raven Looney Party was awesome because at the end of the guy's term, he committed suicide. He followed his party line. Like, okay, it's time for the loonies to be gone.
What's that from?
It was a party in the UK like 20 years ago called the Raven Loonies.
Okay.
Oh, okay. And he literally committed suicide?
He did.
Oh, that's sad.
That's a shame.
What's that in your hand there, Shadow?
This is actually from the old Star Wars miniature game. It's just on my shelf. I love it. I love any kind of flying airships. John Carter, Warlord of Mars, being one of my favorite IPs of all time.
John Carter's sweet.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. I'm not a big fan of the Modifius game, but I absolutely love the artwork. And, anything John Carter, I own John Carter action figures that most people have never even seen. And they could literally, pump out a piece of dog shit with John Carter stamped in it, and I'd buy it.
All right, mages.
Later, mages.
Okay, I have a shirt idea for you. I'll see if I can work it up.
And the same goes for Mutant Chronicles. I absolutely love that IP. The movie they put out. It didn't do it justice, but I was waiting for it since I was a teenager. Mutant Chronicles, my son and I absolutely love that IP. We've got the kickstarted version of the Siege of the Citadel. I have almost every miniature. Wish I could find me some Doom Trooper cards because the boy and I love playing that game. But, I just couldn't get in, on board with the D20 or the 2D20 game mechanics. They're just not my style, especially for John Carter and other things. But, I get it. Everybody's got to try their systems out and see what fits for them. I still have all the old original Mutant Chronicles war games and miniature games and role-playing games. And I'm actually doing a little mini series with Bruce Lombardo and Legacy Gaming. We're all going to sit around and chew the fat about Mutant Chronicles back in the day. Sometime before the end of the year, because Max from Legion of Myth, he's going to be doing the 2D20, go through. He's going to review the game with Heathen Dog, and I want to get this out because we're going to talk about the old game before he does the new game. Otherwise, it just won't work out right for everyone.
Sadly, I've never gotten to play either of those IPs, but I know the story, and I like the flavor of the world and some of the tales that have been told.
Yeah, the original lore. There's this one book they put out in the miniature war game. It's called The Chronicles of War. It's like a 40-page little, it's not a digest-sized book, but yeah, it tells the whole story of the lore, and it's phenomenal. It would have made for such great visual, big screen, small screen, whatever you want to call it, instead of the, dumpster fire movie that we got, because they missed out on just about 90%. Even my son, who doesn't know that much lore, saw the movie and goes, "What the hell is this? How's this Mutant Chronicles?" Yeah, and we watched clips, for the movie, a decade before the movie came out because they've been working on it. Because let's face it, it's incredibly refreshing and realistic. Yeah, it is, Mark. The old version is better. I just know that because of the way the game was designed. I'm sure the new version is probably one of the better versions of Modiphius's games. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt for that because I have the Star Trek game that I'm actually giving away at the end of the year, part of our 500 sub special. So if anybody's interested in a copy of that, go check out our videos and maybe you'll get lucky and win that game because as much as I'm a fan of Star Trek, I just don't want the game in my collection. I'll never play it. And mind you, I've owned almost every Star Trek game that's ever come out, and I'd rather just watch the show and leave it be. Same with Tolkien. When I want a Tolkien fix, I will just read Tolkien. Everything else is just kind of Mutant Chronicles.
You should watch The Rings of Power. It's the best thing ever made.
Oh my God! I would literally rather use a catheter on a daily basis than to watch that. Mark, real quick, Mutant Chronicles. Imagine Earth becomes completely corporatized, and every country becomes a corporation, and then those corporations fight each other in wars. And then they take their wars out to space and conquer the planets and divvy up and divide them. And then one day they find this planet called Nero hanging out past Pluto. And the British corporation called Imperial, they send their conquistadors out to explore it. And they find this ancient seal carved into the ground. And, being dumb humans, they break the seal. And when the seal opens, all the forces of hell come spewing out. From another dimension, etc., led by 4 giant demon lords called apostles that just rain hell down on all the corporate planets, and then humanity has to unite to fight them and drive them back to where they came from, only to succeed for a temporary amount of time, and then the Dark Legion comes back again and back and forth. And you can play any of the corporations, you can play the Dark Legion, or you could play the Brotherhood, which is like the Catholic Church on steroids with assassins and power armor. That is Mutant Chronicles.
Yeah.
And boy, what a ride it was! If you like shoulder pads and big guns and big bad big damn heroes, it is the game for you. And if you like the bad guys, you get some pretty original bad guys. Hell is Saturn.
The bad guys really look like something out of a freaking nightmare.
Yes, that is absolutely 100% correct. And they're not just, big bad scary guys. There's also a lot of that cultist thing going on, like, secret societies and everything, and and corruption and mutation that eventually takes you over, and suddenly you're one of the Dark Legion, fighting your way up the chain to become bigger and badder amongst your own 4 factions of the Dark Legion, which means Dark Legion can fight Dark Legion, Dark Legion can fight the Brotherhood.
If you know anything about Warhammer, it's like if Microsoft and McDonald's was fighting Slanesh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very much so. And one of the things about it, everybody says, even though it may be counter, to the theory of gaming, it's like if Warhammer was more realistic when it comes to Earth. It's a very realistic, potentially possible future of what would happen in our solar system as we expand until you get to the point where you release magic into the system and, unholy forces fighting everything that is, human.
Yeah. You ever seen, what was that movie? The name is like escaping me, with Sylvester Stallone and
Demolition Man.
What did you say?
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man. So California in that is only California. The utopia made is there. The rest of the country is still like a corporate hellhole, but gone to 11 because Taco Bell won the corporate wars,
right?
The franchise wars. That's not just in California. That's all over the world, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So the world in Mutant Chronicles is that world, but 500 years in the future.
Yeah. Where each country eventually
the corporations just said we're taking over everything. Taco Bell eventually took over the United States.
Right.
Like I'm just using that as an example, but
exactly. All of the Asian countries band together and become a corporation called Mishima. Parts of Europe, the Germanic countries become Bauhaus. The British countries become Imperial. Right, I know. Clearly, they were a fan, and mind you, the game I think came out of Sweden. And I actually got to meet some of the people who were involved in the original company. Big Bob Watts, for example. I actually have some miniatures he painted up in my collection that have only seen the light of day twice in the last 20 plus years because they're so, rare, as it were. Something I don't want to.
You should show them off on camera sometime.
I did once, and I'll probably do so again when I do the Mutant Chronicles show with Bruce and Legacy, and of course I'll show off the books and all that stuff. It's just such a it's a fun universe to play in, and I had so much fun. I used to have literally 8 players at our Doom Trooper card game table every Sunday, and each player would play a different faction, and we'd have these massive card games that would last all Sunday afternoon, and it was just a blast. It was, to this day, my favorite card game, and I wish I wouldn't have gotten rid of so many cards when they were, worth a fortune.
Yeah.
So
you'll always have like when you have a property that you're intimately involved in, you'll always have regrets letting it go, no matter the reason why you let it go.
All right, guys, let's wrap her up.
Yeah,
not a problem. We already went through the show. I talked about my channel. Justin, you got anything else you want to say before we say adios for the afternoon?
I'm good. I don't do anything on my channel for like videos or anything. So,
well, think about it, man. You seem like a well-rounded individual, and I'd love to, get to hang out with you more. And this was fun. We'll be back Friday, right, Hungar?
Friday morning around noon Easter time, 11 to 12.
What's going on the Friday agenda?
Just Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're doing a live show.
Just chilling and chatting, man. Breakfast with Hungar. Right, buddy?
Yes, yep. Justin, you're always welcome. Guys out and watching, hit the like button. You're always welcome. I'll post the link if you want to hop on and BS with us. Everybody's welcome, man.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Day. God bless you all. Like and subscribe, of course.
Amen, brother.
Party on.
And
check out Shadpw, son. He does a lot of good videos, guys.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Show,